Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to share with you a clip from a recent conversation that I had with Gathering the Magic 1984. Check out his YouTube channel. He has some really powerful and unique wisdom around how we are overlooking a certain component within Land 1.5, the grain. The importance of grain is right now being slept on because there's so much of it. It's coming easy. You can produce it with every single plot of land that you want. But that will not be so. And this radical and singular change that is coming to land in Splinterlands will transform the sustainability of your land operation if you're not paying attention. Because of this one conversation, I went out and spent a significant chunk of change and bought 15 additional plots of land to prepare myself to be more self-sustainable around grain production. If that sounds interesting, stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe.
Yep, they're just one account. Yep, this is all my land right here.
Hmm.
So I have 2 plots that I have up for sale. The 2 plots I just recently picked up and I was so happy were they were both rare and they were both lakes, because I'm still saying grain is going to be very hard to come by, I think, 2-3 months after 2.0 goes live. Just for the sake that there's only 4 different types of land that can produce grain, and you have 14 different land types. So you've got 4 types trying to support another 10. So everyone's going to have a huge glut of grain because we've all been building up grain. You know, it's going to be months and months before 2.0 comes out. I think about 3 or 4 months later, you're going to start to see a grain shortage. So
yeah, I think
I really want to load up on plots that can produce grain.
I think you're right about that. And I knew that those changes were coming, but I haven't thoroughly looked into it myself, like in terms of preparing, because things will change. Like right now I've got a variety of different, like let's look at it. So I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of my 20 plots that are constructed are producing grain. And I think now that I've just recently switched 2 of them over, like 2 of these ones that are grain here were very recently, I think, SPS, and I moved them into grain because I was in a deficit, and by about 15,000 a day, I was losing grain 15,000 a day. Fortunately, I had a large glut to rely on, but as you can see, I'm only at 82,000 stockpiled. So I'm very much like I need to look at that. I don't know. I don't know which
the best place to do it is just where you were at on Baron's Toolbox. Now, I know you can filter. I don't know if you can do multiple filters. On Baron's Toolbox on the left-hand side, you can actually sort by terrain type. And I know there's 4 different types that will allow you to produce grain, but I don't think you can select all 4 of them at once. So on the very left-hand side with all the icons, you can sort by, because I know it's bogs, rivers, lakes, and plains are the 4 that you want to look for, but I think you could probably only do those one at a time.
Plains, lakes,
lake, river, and then bog.
Okay, river. So those two, and wherever. Bogs. Okay, let's start with bogs. So I've got no bogs.
So none.
And then I've got lakes. I have 1 lake.
That's good. It's an epic.
Plain. No plains, and 1 river. So I've got 1 river.
Okay, so just going by that, you are going to be very, very deficient in grain if you want to be self-sufficient.
Wow, that's a very startling revelation right there. You like just kind of blew my mind. So right now I'm operating with 10 of my locations producing grain, 10 of them. And right now, with this, I'm only going to have 2. I need 8 new grain producing at minimum. Because if I only bring on 8 more, now I actually have 28 lots of land that I would try to be governed with 10 grain producing plots. So I probably actually need maybe it's, I don't know. Do you think maybe 10 or 12? Because again,
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the rarity. I mean, if you can pick up maybe 3 or 4 more epics with that 40% bonus, and then if you throw a title and a totem on there, you know, those couple plots could really produce a lot of grain. But then there's the cost factor as well, because I know epics are probably $150 to $200 a piece.
Mhm.
But then again, you're in Gank-land, so even though you don't have a lot of grain, you know a lot of people in that region, and it's going to come down to trading. You're going
That's
to be
right.
producing probably a lot of stone and wood, so you can trade that for the grain that you need.
Yeah, theoretically, but I don't really want. First of all, I want more plots of land in the first. Like regardless, like I want. I would love to have 100 again. I don't know if maybe I could approach Gank and sort something out, but I see that there's nothing on peak monsters from let's see 023. Yeah, no, there's nothing in for sale currently in that region. But how does it work again? So if I'm in region 23, but somebody like do I have to have all of my grain producing in region 23 or
No, you can send grain. You can send grain anywhere, but if you send it to a different region, you're going to have that tax penalty, and I think it's 12.5%, and then that may be able to be reduced with the whole mechanic of the salt tokens and that deal.
Yeah.
But there will be a penalty to send it outside the region, but you are able to do that.
So, and 23 is, yeah, I'm getting confused by the lingo, if that's my tract or, let me see. So I'm in, yeah, okay. So all of my things are in region 23, but they're across a variety of different tracts.
As far as I know, the tracks don't matter as long as it's in the same region.
I think that's true.
This is something that I think a lot of people haven't thought about. This is something I've wanted to raise kind of a flag is, people are so used to getting free grain right now because that's basically one of three things you can make. So it's like, yeah, I might as well just make grain. But going forward, you're not going to be able to. And if you're someone that owns, let's say you own a track, and that track is primarily, mountains or swamps or calderas or whatever, you're going to have 100 plots of land, maybe only 10 of them have the right terrain type where you can produce grain, and there's no way your 10 plots are going to support the other 90. So that's why I'm saying I think there's going to be a big grain shortage, and it's not going to happen right away because we're going to have huge stockpiles that we've been building up. But who knows, 3-6 months down the road after 2.0 comes out, you're going to have a big grain shortage.
Mm-hmm. So it's lake, river, bog, and plain.
So that's what I sort by when I go on Peak Monsters every morning. I go on Peak Monsters, I check building in a box, and I check those 4 land types and see if there's good deals out there.
That ball is rolling because, man, I'm convinced, and I think you are too, that this is the moment in time where people are not they're taking it as they're sleeping on land to the biggest degree that they probably ever will. Like right now we feel like 1.5 is boring. Even Matt himself said the word, like, it's boring. That tells me that people just don't respect what this is going to be. Because if you really thought about what this is gonna be, you'd be excited in this moment, like you are with Splinterforge, like you are with Bronze League participation in Splinterlands, and like I carry the same thing. I'm at a different level in this game and whatnot, but I mean, I totally feel you. Like this is going to be really, I think, a life-changing opportunity, and I don't want to be caught, flat-footed.